Well, they said it wasn't happening, but now we have the proof. The Gateway Pundit reports that the first illegal alien this year charged in connection to voting fraud after years of voting in the U.S. elections. We're covering this story and so much more here on Beyond the Headlines, only on Vigilant News. This segment is sponsored by the Tax Network. View back taxes, they can help you today at pnusa.com/VNN. I'm Elijah Schaefer. Let's start the show. Well, the fix is in, and the 2024 election may be a mirror of what we saw in 2020, and now the Gateway Pundit has the proof. The first illegal alien this year charged in connection to voting fraud after years of voting in U.S. elections. This is just the beginning, as tens of thousands of illegals are currently registered to vote in the U.S. Let's talk about this. The Northern District of Alabama U.S. Attorney's Office charged illegal immigrant Angelica Maria Francisco after she stole a U.S. citizen's identity and has voted in numerous elections since 2011. Francisco has resided mostly in Russellville, Alabama, since she came to the United States. Biden's DOJ said that Francisco has agreed to plead guilty to all charges of fraud. Here's the direct complaint. I want you to listen carefully to the details. An undocumented individual, aka someone who is here illegally, has been charged in connection with her fraudulent assumption of a United States citizen's identity and her use of that identity to vote in multiple elections and obtain multiple United States passports, announced attorney Prim F. Esculana and resident agent in charge Joseph R. Waisawada of the U.S. State Department's Diplomatic Security Service Atlanta resident office. So you're telling me that you said that, our IDs are safe. We don't even need our IDs. Black people can't get IDs. They're too stupid. They can't even get them. That's what they tell you, right? They're just too dumb. But illegal aliens who don't even have any ties to this country, can't even legally get an ID in most states, can steal, identities and get passports. Maybe these people aren't as dumb as you're putting them off to be. But I digress. A 9-count information filed in U.S. District Court charges Angelica, 42, most recently of Russellville, with false claims of citizenship in connection with voting, false statement in application for a United States passport, use of the United States passport obtained by false statements, and aggravated identity theft. A plea agreement was filed with the information indicating that Francisco has agreed to plead guilty to all of the charges. According to the information and plea agreement, Francisco assumed the identity of a United States citizen around 2011. She also used identity to obtain a state passport. She subsequently used the passport to travel to and from her native country in Guatemala. See, this is what's crazy. They're leaving their countries because they need asylum here. That's what I've been told. They say these people can't live in Guatemala. It's so dangerous. But they can leave Guatemala, come here, steal someone's identity to go back on vacations back to their home country. Do you know that? That Afghanis are traveling back to Afghanistan. Syrians are traveling back to Damascus. And we're supposed to say they need to be here? Why? Well, check this out. In 2021, Francisco used the same false identity to apply for and received a renewed passport. She updated her passport, which she used to travel to and from. Listen, the court will set a date. Francisco is just the tip of the iceberg. There are likely hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens registered to vote in America today. In August, the Gateway Pundit reported that Alabama state officials have discovered over 3,000 illegal voters registered in the state's voter rolls. This report comes following Secretary of State Wes Allen ordering the removal of all non-citizens from election databases. During the official review, the state found a whopping 3,251 individuals with alien registration numbers. Now, that's crazy. Obviously, okay, my wife is a permanent resident here. I'm not against immigration. She's from Australia. She's a European descent, Irish. Very beautiful girl, very lovely. But, you've got to be joking with me when you don't realize that homogeny, cohesiveness, we need to have an identity, racial or religious, or even something of a shared background and common history. And now you're telling me that these people are not only coming here, they're committing crimes, and we're not detecting it for decades. How many more of these things are actually going on here? That's a very interesting question. Now, on the flip side, we know that fraud exists. This forensic expert who was on The Blaze recently explained that, hey, he's a technology and forensic expert. We know there's fraud. The ballots aren't even folded. This proves they're fake, yet we still allow this fraud to continue. Listen.
That is actually what kinematics, it's called a kinematic artifact is. It's the study of physics that when two forces or two metamaterials come together and bend and apply to each other, it leaves a trail. So printing's on top, very, very fast to dry immediately. And it's on a piece of paper. What's paper? Paper is reconstituted wood, right? It's all put back together. So technically, when these ballots get folded, everywhere there's printing on that page, it creates a kinematic artifact. So the bottom line is, how can it be a mail-in ballot if it has no signs of ever being mailed? Take a look at this video.
Absentee and mail-in ballots are folded to mail. Well, if such ballots have no fold marks, were they ever mailed? What you're seeing here is a forensic scan of an actual 2020 ballot. No folds, but when you see the fold, a kinematic artifact is detected. That's where the fold is. It can be seen. Well, if such ballots have no fold marks, were they ever mailed? Forensic science shows if no fold marks, it's not a legal mail-in ballot.
Wow. And that's no surprise there. Now, I want to remind you guys, the government, well, they want you to forget about what they did to you. But if you owe back taxes, remember that pandemic relief is now over. Along with hiring thousands of new agents and field officers, the IRS has kicked off 2024 by sending over 5 million pay-up letters to those who have unfiled tax returns or balances owed. It's rough. Don't waive your rights and speak with them on your own. They're not your friends, just like law enforcement. Now, Tax Network USA, a trusted tax relief firm, has saved over $1 billion in back taxes for all of their clients. They can also help you right now secure the best deal possible. Whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, they can help you ASAP. Whether it's business or even personal, even if you have the means to pay or you are on a fixed income, they can help finally resolve your tax burdens once and for all. Call today at 1-800-958-1000 for a private free consultation. That's 1-800-958-1000. Or you can go online and visit tnusa.com/VNN. That's tnusa.com/VNN to get relief today. Don't wait until it's too late. Now, Rudy Giuliani was also on Dr. Phil recently, explaining the wide variety of evidence they have of voter fraud from the last election. They'll do it. They did it then. They'll do it again. This is quite an interesting recording, but this is the best version I could find. Listen. Now, this is absolutely a tragedy. I mean, we have this evidence. Apologies there for the slight audio issues. That's the actual original recording, but it's really good if you listen closely. Anyway, let's hope that we protect ourselves in this next election better than we have in years past. For Beyond the Headlines, only on Vigilant News, I'm Elijah Schaefer. And if you want more videos like this and to team up with us against the mainstream media and the censorship regime, make sure that you sign up for our newsletter at vigilantnews.com or subscribe to our social media sites. We're on Rumble and on X now. You can find us at Vigilant News. Have a great rest of the week as always, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.